Welcome to the Happy Black Woman Podcast, where we're on a mission to empower women to transform their lives through personal development and entrepreneurship. We bring you all the information, inspiration, and motivation you need to create a life of happiness, success, and freedom. Now, please welcome your host, the happy black woman herself, Rosetta Thurman.
Hello, ladies, and welcome to the 100th episode of the Happy Black Woman Podcast. I am your host, Rosetta Thurman, and I am so delighted to be here with you. This episode is a very special one because my guest is you. I am recording this episode live on my conference line because my intention was to truly celebrate the 2-year anniversary of the Happy Black Woman Podcast by sharing a bit about this journey of manifesting my vision and offering some insight to all of my listeners and taking some questions from a live audience here, a live virtual audience here. And I thought it would be really fun to do that for the 100th episode. There has been so much support and feedback coming in over the past 2 years for the podcast that it has truly propelled me to continue to keep going with the show. I never thought that I would have my own podcast, let alone one that was on iTunes New and Noteworthy. We have had over 500,000 downloads over the past 2 years. That's 500,000 downloads of the show. And I am looking forward to another 2 years of producing this show for all of you. So with that, I would like to dive into today's topic for my 100th episode, and that is what it really takes to manifest your vision. What does it really take to manifest your vision? And I want to cover four steps that you can take to truly become the kind of woman who gets everything that she wants. And it may sound lofty, but truly, if you follow certain steps in your life, when you do things in a certain way, you will get certain results. And I have found that to be true in my life. So thank you for listening to the 100th episode. And what I have learned over this journey of coming to terms with my own vision and starting to take action implementing it, what I have learned about myself and about Black women in general is that I can do anything I want with my life and no one can stop me but me. So you can do anything you want with your life and no one can stop you but you. And if you put your mind to manifesting your vision, when you make up your mind that this is what you're going to do, nothing can stop you unless you allow it to stop you. So what does it really take to do that? What does it really take to manifest the vision that you have been given for your life? And I say given because so many of us have had these goals and dreams and desires for a very long time, maybe even since you were a little girl. Many of you have wanted to write a book or motivate other people or have a family, really do well in your career and your business. You do something creatively. So there are so many different things that we have been called to do. And what it really takes is more than the average person is typically willing to do. So what I have found in my journey, and I will share just a little bit of my journey, I consider my journey really beginning back in 2009, 2010. I call it my year of liberation, when I got clear that I had to stop waiting for permission and approval and validation from people and just start doing what I wanted to do. And once I started doing that, I realized that, I really am a grown woman and I can do what I want and no one can stop me. So that was the year that I decided to quit my PhD program. I realized that I didn't have to have letters behind my name to make an impact in the world. I didn't have to have a PhD to publish books and go and do speaking. And so I quit. I realized that I wanted to go natural. I didn't want to wear relaxed hair anymore. Nothing wrong with relaxed hair, but for me, I had always wanted to be natural, and I held myself back because of what other people would say. What would they say about my hair? What would they think? You know, what would men think? Would I still be attractive? And all those different things that came up. But I did what I wanted to do with my hair, and I realized how freeing it was. And by the way, my boyfriend at the time, he dumped me when I went natural, which was mind-boggling to me, but it was all for the best, because sometimes when you are on a mission to manifest the life you really want, everyone is not going to be able to handle it. They can't deal with you in this new state. So it was truly a blessing in disguise. But the other thing I did was I quit my job. I quit my job to run my own business. My first business was a nonprofit consulting business, and I did speaking and coaching and training in the nonprofit sector. And in my mind, I thought, if I can quit my PhD program, if I can do the big chop and go natural, I can do anything. I could quit my job. I can do all that I want to do. And I gave myself permission for that. And once I did that, all these different opportunities started to open up for me that I would not have seen if I hadn't made those decisions. So, number one, what I will say for me in terms of what it really took was going to that place that would have me be liberated. So many of us know that we are free as Black women. Free meaning that we're not in shackles anymore, we're not in slavery anymore. We technically have the freedom to move about this world as we please. But in order to give ourselves liberation, there has to be some more mindset shifts that have to occur. There has to be a commitment to what you truly want, regardless of what everyone else says or what everyone else has to say. And for me, that was my year of liberation, when I just decided that I'm going to do what I want to do regardless of what anybody else has to say. And that went way beyond freedom. It's one thing to know that you can do anything you want, but it's another thing to actually implement that in your life. It doesn't matter if you know you can do what you want, if you are too afraid to do what you want. It's like you are wasting all of this freedom that we have if you are not willing to liberate yourself as a Black woman. There are so many beliefs that we have to liberate ourselves from that it is a process. It is a process to liberate ourselves from beliefs and thoughts that we have about what we're truly capable of, what we are truly able to do, and liberate ourselves from other people's opinions. So many people have opinions on Black women that it can be difficult to find our own voice in the noise. So what I found is that what it really took for me to manifest my vision, the dreams that I've had for my life, whether it's entrepreneurship or changing my hairstyle or traveling the world or really pursuing a relationship that honors me and does not require me to be somebody that I'm not, that took a mindset shift. It really took me just really saying, I don't care what everyone else thinks. I'm not here to live for everyone else. I'm here to live for me. I'm here to make a difference in the way that I was created for. And I don't have to ask for anyone else's validation or approval or acceptance. I need to accept myself. I need to approve of myself. I need to validate myself. And for most women, that is a process. And you can start that process at any time. So I want to just dive a little deeper into this and share 4 steps that I had to go through to really become the kind of woman who gets everything she wants. And it sounds like, wow, can you really get everything that you want? Nobody can do that. And that's not true. It's what you've been taught. If you have been taught to believe that you can't get everything that you want, then that's how you will operate in your life. What if you had been taught the opposite? There are white men all over the world who have been taught that you can have everything that you want. Our current president is one example. He thinks he can just go around and say whatever he wants, do whatever he wants. That is a belief system that was put into him from when he was a child growing up. And we can really look at that to see what happens when you grow up with a certain mindset and what happens when you grow up with a different mindset. Most of us were not taught, and we did not grow up thinking and believing that we can do whatever we wanted. But when you look at the white men, the dominant people in this country who've always been the dominant in this country, you can see that they were taught something very different. And this is not about white versus black, anything like that. What I'm saying is you can see the results based on your beliefs. And if you believe that you can't get everything that you want, you will operate your life in that way. You will take action or not take action based on those beliefs. So when I decided that I was going to become the kind of woman who got everything she wanted, my whole world shifted. My whole life shifted. And what came to me was this unfolding, this process, and I want to share that with you today. So, number one, I gave myself permission to discover my purpose. So step number one to become the kind of woman who gets everything that she wants is to discover your purpose. All of us have a purpose of being here on this earth. And you are the only one who can pursue that purpose. You're the only one who can give yourself permission to walk in that purpose. Nobody can tell you what your purpose is. Nobody else can tell you what your purpose is. You have to discover it for yourself. And for many of us, that purpose has been with us since we were little girls, since we were growing up, figuring ourselves out. When you look at what you've always gravitated towards, when you look at what you've always journaled about, what you've always thought about and dreamed about, that pretty much gives you a good idea of what your purpose is. So you have to discover that purpose. What is it? What is the reason that you're here for? What was it that you were born for? And once you discover that purpose, you then choose to walk in it. You then choose not to squander your time here on earth because you have a purpose. And when you have a purpose, ladies, you do not have time to entertain foolishness. You do not have time to entertain distractions. You do not have time to entertain the naysayers and the Debbie Downers. You don't have time to worry about what other people are thinking about you because you are so focused on your purpose, which was given to you. So I got clear years ago that my purpose was to help other people through the gifts that I had been given. I am not gifted in every area. I'm not good at sports. I'm not good at science. I'm not really good at math. All I was good at when I was growing up was reading and writing and speaking. I knew how to inspire people. I knew how to teach people. I always wanted to be a teacher. And so I knew that part of my purpose had to be helping people in those ways. Otherwise, God would not have given me the gifts that he had given me. And there are different gifts than were given to you. And there are different gifts than your sister, your brother, your mother, your father. All of us have been given gifts that will allow us to fulfill our purpose. There is no way, and this is my spiritual beliefs coming out, I believe that there is no way that God would have given you a purpose and a gift and not allow you to manifest it and experience it in this lifetime. My God is a loving God, and I believe that it would be pretty sadistic and hateful for you to be given a gift and a purpose and not be able to pursue it. So for those who are saying, well, I don't know if I'm really meant to do this, to walk in my purpose. Your purpose would not have been revealed to you if it was not meant for you to walk in it. So that's step one, discover your purpose. Step two is to develop your vision. So throughout my journey, I had to develop my vision and get clear on what my vision was, regardless of what other people were doing and saying about me and for themselves. So for most of us, our visions are bigger than what the people around us can understand. And depending on how you grew up, the people around you may not have much of a vision because they were not taught to believe that they can have anything that they wanted. So they settle. And so when you begin to develop your vision, it's very natural that other people won't be able to understand it. Because when you have a vision, typically you're thinking big. You're thinking about what you want your legacy to be. You're thinking about what accomplishments you want to have. You're thinking about what you want your life to look like. And when I got clear that I wanted to work for myself, I wanted to be able to travel the world, do what I wanted, when I wanted, be in control of my time, other people around me that couldn't see that for themselves were worried about me. They said, "Are you sure that's the right path? Are you sure you're going to make that? You can make this work? Are you sure it's safe for you to travel to all these places? Is it safe for you to, to move to Hawaii? Is it safe for you to go to Mexico and Bali and all these places by yourself?" And I had to protect my vision. Once I got clear about it and I developed it, I had to protect my vision. So I stopped talking to people about my goals if they couldn't understand. If you're going to ask me stupid questions that have nothing to do with me, but have everything to do with your mindset of scarcity and lack, I'm just not going to talk to you about it. And you don't have to talk to people about your vision. But one of the things that often happens with women, especially with Black women, is that you will tell the wrong people about your vision as a form of self-sabotage. Why would you tell your mother about your vision to quit your job when you know that she is going to try to discourage you? Or why would you tell your best friend from high school about the fact that you want to travel the world and she's never been anywhere? The response is not always going to be positive. And you know that to some extent. You know that there are certain people in your life that are not going to get it. So why would you even go to them expecting support? It's a form of self-sabotage because you are already afraid. So you're going to go to someone else who's afraid just for them to confirm your fear. And that is not what you would do if you were fully committed to getting what you want. You've got to protect that vision. So step 2 is develop your vision and, of course, protect that vision. And really be very clear and specific about that vision. If you want to be married to a certain type of man, be clear about what kind of man that is. If you want to live in a certain area of the world, be very clear. Don't just say, "I want a nice house." Say, "I want a nice house in Atlanta, Georgia," or "I want a nice house in San Francisco, California." I'm looking at all the people who are called in, who are dialed into the call. "I want to live in a 2-story townhome in Charlotte, North Carolina," right? So you got to be specific when it comes to your vision as well. You don't just want to say, "I want to be married." You say, "I want to attract a loving, supportive, romantic husband who really supports me in everything that I do," right? So you want to get very specific as well. All right. Step number 3 is to break through your barriers. This is a step that most people do not like. You have to break through your barriers. We all have reasons why we may not feel comfortable taking action on our vision. But you have to face those things so that you can move forward. It's kind of like if you're walking down a path, you're walking down a road, and all of a sudden a boulder, a big rock, rolls into your path. And the only way to continue walking down the road is to go around it, to go over it, to move it out of the way. We all have barriers that keep us from fulfilling our goals, from manifesting our vision. And most women, most Black women, especially since I've talked to so many women and I have talked to many of you at our events and things like that, I know that everyone wants to set the goals and they want to start making the plans and they want to start doing their action steps. But most women do not want to face the things that may hold them back. And what I'm here to say is that all of us have those things. And if you don't address it, it's going to come up for you later. So some of the things that may come up for you, for instance, when I was building my business, my first business even, I had to overcome my feelings of self-worth, that not knowing or not feeling like I was worth these $15,000 contracts that I was getting, really doubting at sometimes whether my work was worth what my clients were paying me because of my background. I did not grow up with money. My mom had me when she was 16. I was raised by a teenage mom. We lived in public housing for a long time. And so I did not grow up with money. I didn't grow up seeing all these thousands of dollars exchanging hands. And so when it came to my business and asking clients to pay me these amounts of money, I had to get over that. I had to redefine myself. I had to say, you know what? Even though I did not come from money, I can still generate money. Even though I did not come from a wealthy entrepreneurial family, I can still create that in my life. And you cannot expect to just develop this vision and go straight to taking action if there are things in your past, if there are things in your life that are going on that would prevent you from doing that. So if you're trying to completely transform your life and start acting on this vision, but you've got people around you right now who are toxic, who are negative, who are not supportive of you, you got to do something about those people. You can't move forward with that dead weight. So you can't think that you're going to change your life without changing your environment, without changing your mindset, without changing some of the things that are going on right now. You cannot live a different life if you're not committed to doing different things. And that often requires having different thoughts, reprogramming your mind, and beginning to remove negative people from around you. For some of you, it is your significant other. For some of you, it is that quote-unquote best friend who has known you forever, but she doesn't want you to move forward. It is those people that you've known for so many years, but they are so jealous of you, and they have such a fear and lack mindset that they're not going to support any idea you come up with. And you cannot allow yourself to be held back by that. For many of you, it may be things that have happened to you in your childhood. You may have grown up with a parent or family members who told you you were never going to be anything, who doubted your abilities, who told you that you were overweight or dumb or whatever you heard. In order to move forward, you've got to address some of those things if they are holding you back. So you have to break through your barriers. We all have them, and they often do not even start showing up until you begin to take on some of these goals and dreams and desires. So that's step 3. Step 4 is to take inspired action. Once you know your purpose, you have your vision clearly stated, and you have done the inner work to break through some of those barriers, you've got to take action now. You've got to move forward so that you can manifest your vision. And the word manifest, the definition of it means to make evident. To manifest something means to make evident. It means to make something real. So for all of you who say, I have dreams, I'm a dreamer, it's time for you to make those dreams real, to turn those dreams into reality. And to do that, you have to take action. You cannot meditate your way to results. You cannot pray your way into results. We know that you have to do work. Being successful takes work. You cannot just ask for things to happen and the universe delivers it on a silver platter. You have to take some action. You have got to look at what your vision is and what needs to happen next for you to get there. And in that way, you make your dream real. You make your dream a reality. So let me just recap the 4 steps that I've shared today about how to really become the kind of woman who gets everything that she wants. If you're willing to, number 1, discover your purpose. Number 2, develop your vision. Number 3, break through your barriers. And number 4, take inspired action. Truly, you can have anything that you want. And if you don't believe that right now, it's okay. What I'm asking you to do is simply be willing to go through the process and then decide if it's BS or not, right? I am one coach and mentor who's out here empowering women, but we're all saying the same thing for a very good reason, because it's true, because we have experienced it in our own lives. And it is time for you to take that on, to be willing to do what it really takes. So the last thing that I'll say, and what I want you to do now as I wrap up my content here, is I would like to take some questions from you. If you're on the phone, press *2. I can only take questions from the phone. So press *2 if you have a question, if you'd like to get some coaching around an issue that is related to manifesting your vision, about your purpose, about your vision, about your barriers, about taking action. So press *2, and I will take your call. Again, this is being recorded as our 100th podcast episode, so I'm going to ask you to just say your first name and where you're calling from, but go ahead and press *2. So what I'd like to say before I dive into questions here is that the main reason why many of us do not achieve our goals is because we make them conditional. We make them conditional based on how we feel, based on what other people say, based on what's going on in the economy, based on what the president's doing, when the people who really get what they want make their goals unconditional, meaning that you are on a scale of 1 to 10, you are a 10, all in, no matter what. And once I got to that point where I was fully committed, and it didn't matter to me how long it took to become successful in my business. It doesn't matter how much money I have to spend. I will spend all the money because I know and I believe in myself that I'm going to be successful. And when you have that belief, you can do anything. And that's the attitude that I have had to have, and that's the attitude that my clients have had to create. And so if you are ready to create that in your life, that level of belief in yourself, that level of commitment to your vision, and that level of clarity about what it is you really want, I invite you to join me in January for our 5th annual Manifest Your Vision 3-day mindset retreat. It's happening January 12th to the 14th in Fort Lauderdale. You can find out more and get registered at manifestyourvision.com. Right now, we have a 30% off early bird registration right now, and that's only until the end of the month, and then the price goes up again. So if you want to join me and really take 3 days to dig deep into these 4 steps, to discover your purpose, develop your vision, break through your barriers, and take inspired action, come to Manifest Your Vision in Florida. Your first test will be getting yourself there, saying yes to yourself, and making the investment to really start to change your life. And we can do that at the event. Go to manifestyourvision.com and get yourself registered. We just announced our incredible speakers, Sabrina Jackson-Gandy and Liana Shuley. And we're going to be talking about your goals. We're going to be talking about your relationships. We're going to be talking about your business. We're going to be talking about your personal style. So it's not just about how you feel about your goals, but how you feel about your body, how you feel about your marriage, how you feel about your relationship, or how you feel about taking action on those areas of your life. So we are going to deal with the whole woman. We're going to have a very holistic experience, and I can't wait to see you there. ManifestYourVision.com. Go and grab your 30% off ticket. All right, so I'm going to dive in to these questions on the phone. Again, if you have a question now, press *2. I have just enough time for a few questions here, so if you want a question answered, press *2 now. So I've got someone calling in from Los Angeles. Hello, you are unmuted. Can you tell us your first name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, my name is Mercy. I'm calling from Los Angeles.
Okay, wonderful, Mercy. Tell me, what's your question?
So I have my vision. I have everything that I've been working towards, but I can't seem to get out of my own way, like with perfection is concerned. And how do you get past that? Like, my thing's got to be perfect, or it's got to be like this, instead of like, I paralyze myself and I can't get past that perfection standpoint. You know, you want your product to be great or your service to be great always, but it's like I always am finding faults in things and stagnating myself based on that.
Got it. Well, you're not alone, Mercy. There are a lot of recovering perfectionists on the line, myself included, and a lot of that perfectionism doesn't just jump up. It is something that typically has been with us for a while. So, Mercy, can you think of some other times in your life when perfectionism has gotten in your way?
Sure. Relationships. I mean, you know, school, work. I mean, it's like I'm always trying to, I get too involved in the details, and so I never get past the planning stage. So even with my relationship, same thing, you know, like I'm really into making sure like the details of the relationship are good, that I'm not really fully enacted in it. So it could be that. I know what it stems from, definitely from past things, you know, parents telling you you're not good enough, or teachers, you know, telling me the same thing, like, oh, your work is not like so-and-so's work. Look at Kimberly's work or whatever, and always being compared to someone else as far as what it's supposed to look like, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it sounds like you have some great awareness of where it stems from, you know, that you've already done some of this work to see like what's going on here. It typically does start to happen in childhood where you find yourself, whether you're the oldest and you know, you feel like you have this responsibility, or there are things said to you as you're growing up to make you feel like you have to be compared to other people. So, Mercy, do you find yourself comparing yourself to other people who are doing the things that you want to do?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, when I see like, okay, you know, on several different, you know, I've tried several different businesses. I've tried to get several different things. They're all related in my bigger vision, but like I've seen, you know, friends or other, like gone to like, you know, shows or things like that and seen a product where I'm looking at some people's things and I'm going, okay, I can do that. And like, it doesn't look perfect. And then I see someone else's who's like got the site and they've got the packaging and everything's just shimmery. And so then
when you find yourself comparing to other people, it could be really useful to remove the stimulus that causes you to compare. And the stimulus is typically looking around at other people. You are actively comparing yourself. And so it really is a behavior change and a habit change. So when I get into that mode of, you know, perfectionism is relative. You're always comparing yourself to someone else to make sure that you can be the best. So if you take that away, the only person you can compare yourself with is you. So what I would invite you to try, Mercy, as a tactical piece, is to unsubscribe from email lists. Unsubscribe from every email list, even mine, if it helps, right? So that you don't have that stimulus coming in, unlike those Facebook pages, and even take away that ability for you to see them. So there's a great app on Chrome, at least on my computer, called Kill Newsfeed, Kill Newsfeed. There's that app you can put on your computer so that when you log into Facebook, you don't even see what's going on in other people's lives. Like, you have to purposefully go to someone's page to check out their baby pictures or whatever. So that's the first thing that can be really impactful for you, is to remove the stimulus, to unsubscribe from the things that are causing you to compare. So take away the emails that you're getting, looking at other people doing what you want to do. Take away those Facebook and unfollow the people on Instagram or wherever it is that you're encountering the stimulus. If you are not seeing it, you're not going to be comparing yourself in that way. So that is what I would offer as an initial step for you to get centered on what you want to do. The second thing that I would offer is for you to journal every day. I want you to try journaling in the morning and journal about your vision. And when you journal about your vision, I don't want you to journal about what you want to happen. I want you to journal about it as if it's already happening. So instead of saying, I want to start my business finally this year, I want you to journal that I am so happy and grateful that my business is successful. I impact this many people and I offer these services and people are so happy about my services. They say my services are exactly what they need. They say that they're going to refer my services to their friends and family because it's perfect for what they needed right then in their life. So I want you to affirm yourself every single day, because when you can do that, you really start to drown out those negative voices. So we're going to remove the stimulus, and we're also going to put in some affirmation for you each and every day. And in the beginning, you may need to do it in the morning and in the evening. For some people, they need to do it in the morning, noon, and night, right? Just like 3 meals a day, that it becomes just as natural for you as brushing your teeth. So removing the stimulus and daily affirmation, journaling your vision in the present tense could really support you. Do you think that these strategies could help you?
Definitely. I definitely can apply the disconnection of those ones that are stimulating this sense of not, mediocrity or inferiority, because like I am subscribed to quite a bit of, because I'm like, I need to get ideas to see what's out there. Right. I don't want to be redundant. Right. I want to be relevant. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so I can see how that might be helpful.
Great work. Yeah. And can you commit to the daily journaling?
Yes. I know I need to do it, and I've done it before, but not like I'm never consistent. Not consistent. And that's the part of the problem. Like I can't. Right. Not that I can't. I just have not in the past been able to sustain it. So,
yeah, and that's why I want you to do it, because the only voice I want you to hear right now, Mercy, is your own.
Right.
Yep. And it's a powerful voice. So good luck, and hopefully we'll get an update from you soon. You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Great question. And I know that served many of you listening as well. So I'm going to go to our next caller here. Looks like the phone number ends in 5729. You are unmuted.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes. What's your first name and where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Portia. I'm calling from Charlotte, North Carolina. Hi, everybody.
Wonderful. What's your question, Portia?
Yes, my question is for myself personally. When you were speaking about being clear and specific on your true desires, thing with me is I can be clear on what I want, and then I can get a little wishy-washy because I might see something else that I want on the same level, and then it's almost as if I'm restarting the process over and over and over again. So I feel like I'm not getting anywhere. So is there any way to kind of control that that aspect of it?
Well, let's get specific, Portia. Tell me something that you want that you've been wishy-washy on specifically.
I'm in the process of looking for a new home. And I write down exactly what I want. I know what I'm looking for, and then I start to go out and look for it. And then I find it, and I'm like, okay, this is really nice. But then I see something else in another area or another neighborhood. So maybe that's the problem. Am I looking too much? Am I doing too much work? Am I going overboard?
Why do you think that's happening? So when you find what you want, you don't allow yourself to have it. You look for something else. Why do you think that happens?
And see, and that I don't know. I don't know why. I feel like I know what I want. I feel like I find it, but then I'm looking elsewhere for something else. Maybe something better, maybe not better. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, one of the reasons could be, and you can see if this resonates with you, a lot of times when we visualize, when we create a vision and set goals, sometimes they are actually not big enough. Because if you keep looking out there for something that's better, then your original goal must not have been big enough. It must not have been grand enough because you're still looking for that next thing. What it may help you to do is to truly sit down and get clear on your big goal. You may be writing down goals that you feel are realistic or achievable, but you know deep down that there's something bigger for you. And it's not until you actually see what the realistic, achievable goal is that you're like, nah, I think I could do better than that, you know? So if you write down the big goal in the beginning, then you start to pursue that. Does any of that resonate with you?
It does. Yeah, it does.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. So I'm going to give you a similar assignment as Mercy. I want you to journal about what you truly, truly want. Like if the sky is the limit, it's not about being realistic or what's achievable, whatever. I just write down what you want. If you want a 10-bedroom mansion or whatever it is that you've been looking at, write that down. And then you can start to work towards it and have energy around it, because now you have found a goal that is worthy of you.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, lady. You're welcome. All right. Next up, we have got someone with the phone number ending 4647. You're unmuted.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes. What's your first name and where are you calling from?
This is awesome, Rosetta. My name's Lorraine Jones, and my question is, I'm very new at this, and I want to be able to do webinars to actually train youth leaders in churches. And I don't know how to do, I want it to be where they can hear my voice while viewing what I'm doing on my computer screen. Okay. So they can see the screen and hear my voice. And then I want to be able to upload it to my website so they can do it, follow it individually.
So is your question more of a technical question, or is there something else behind what you're asking?
I think it's more of a technical question because I don't know how to do it. I'm so afraid of actually launching because I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay,
but I write stage plays for youth churches, for youth ministries, and I want to be able to actually help train the youth ministers and leaders.
So, number one, you haven't launched your business yet. That's the first step, Lorraine. You're asking the right question at the wrong time. So one of the things that I love to help my clients do is to figure out what's the right question to ask. The right question to ask right now is, how do I launch my business? Because you don't need to be doing webinars when you don't have a business yet. You don't have anything to sell. You don't know what your price points are. Like, now is not the time to do any marketing because you have not launched your business yet. So the first step for you, Lorraine, would be to actually officially launch your business and then think about your marketing plan after that.
Oh, I think I have launched it then because I do have those things in place. I have the website in place. I have the plays in place.
Right. Mm-hmm. You know, but have you officially announced it to your network, like you've announced it to everyone you know that you're doing this business and you're open for business?
Yes.
Okay. So now you're looking to do, because you said earlier that you were afraid to launch your business. So what was that about?
Right, because I don't have the I guess I'm not open for business, but I've launched the business.
Okay. Well, when you're officially launched, you're open.
I'm giving it away.
You're ready to take payments. You're ready to get client, So that's what I would focus on. You don't want to do things out of order. So you want to be open for business. And then, you can start to do these webinars. And for that, there's a lot of different tools out there, and you can definitely do your research. Whatever you choose, just practice it, and then you will know what to do. I'm using instant.
I don't know where I would start, where I can do for free to practice.
Well, there's a ton of free tools out there. Uber Conference is one. You can do a free trial of Instant Teleseminar and just practice, with your family and friends. Uber Conference, UBER.
UBER Conference.
Yeah, you can try that and just practice it. I use Instant Teleseminar. You can also check that out and see what fits you. All right?
Okay, thank you.
All right, good luck with your business, Lorraine.
I tend to have you as one of my mentors. I love what you do.
Thank
you.
I
love your spirit.
I hope to see you at an upcoming event. All right. So let's see. I think I have time for one more, and your phone number ends in 0705. You are unmuted.
Hi, this is Cynthia.
Hi, Cynthia. What is your question, my dear?
Oh, I can't believe I got on. My question is, how do I prioritize? I am working towards launching a business. I'm actually in training to become a coach. And I'm finding myself having a lot of activities. I'm doing a lot of activities, and I enjoy these activities, but I'm finding that if I weren't doing so many activities, I would have more time for my business. So I know I have to give up some of these things, but I'm not sure which ones to give up. So how do I prioritize?
Okay. So, Cynthia, let me just clarify. So right now you said you're in the process of launching your coaching business. Is that right?
Right. I'm actually training. I'm in training.
You're training.
To be a life coach and a health coach.
Okay. And
I'm working part-time.
Okay.
And
so you have not launched your business yet?
Exactly.
Okay. How long have you been training?
Maybe a month or 2 months. The program is 6 months long.
Okay. And are you on track with your training right now?
I am on track. I'm very excited to get finished.
Okay. So what is happening to where, like, what is it that makes you feel like you've got too many activities going on?
Well, I am also pursuing a graduate degree, which that was one of my goals in life. I am a treasurer for a sorority. I'm very active in my church. And so those things, although I enjoy doing all those activities, they do take up some time that I feel that I could put toward starting to launch my business, which I would like for it to start out as webinars. Okay.
So which of these activities is taking up most of your time besides your coach training?
The sorority.
Okay. So how would it feel to step down from that role?
I really like it, but if that's what I have to do, I will do it. Although I feel like I'll be disappointing a lot of people.
Yep. But the main person that you will disappoint if you don't get this business off the ground is yourself. And you're more important than all of them.
That's definitely true.
So what would be the first step you would need to take in order to let that role go?
I guess I'd have to do it. I don't know how I could transition out of it. The role will be ending at the end of the year. So, I would say this is not a split decision. You could do some journaling for yourself and really look at your options. Like, what would feel good to you? Is it quitting now and, handing the baton over to someone else? Or it could be riding it out to the end of the year, reducing your hours. Maybe there's one meeting that you can attend versus attending all the meetings. So it doesn't have to be complete cold turkey, but truly, the year is about to be over in 3 months. So you get to choose what your 2018 could look like. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you made that sound so easy.
Yes, that's what coaching will do for you.
I've been toiling over it, but you made me realize what I really have to do. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome. Good luck. So much of the questions that I get and that you guys have heard coming up on this call are really about prioritizing what it is that you want. And as Black women, we have not been taught that historically. We've been taught to prioritize everyone else except us. The author Zora Neale Hurston said that Black women are the mules of the world. And it's only because we allow ourselves to be. We allow ourselves to be controlled by other people's expectations and what they want for us. When your liberation will happen, when you begin to make you the priority, so that when you're happy, everyone else around you can be happy. And your happiness is not based on how everyone else around you feels. You are the first person who needs to be happy in the situation, and everyone else needs to follow from there. So thank you all for joining me for my podcast episode. I have truly enjoyed this format, and so don't be surprised if we do some more of these shows in the future. I love all of you. I wish all the best for your life, for your relationships, for your business, for your career, for your children, for your family, all of that and so much more. I hope to see you in January at our Manifest Your Vision 3-day mindset retreat. You can get 30% off your ticket right now by going to manifestyourvision.com. It also comes with a bonus 3-part masterclass series where we're going to be talking more about these topics, about what it really takes to manifest your vision, to begin the process of focusing on you, your dreams, your desires, and your goals. Until next time, have a beautiful rest of your day, everyone, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us on the Happy Black Woman podcast. If you want all the show's notes from today's episode, go to happyblackwomanpodcast.com. Plus, we'll send you a copy of Rosetta's free life mapping workbook. We look forward to empowering you next time. And until then, do something this week that makes you happy.